in some ways, there's always been a race war, if you will. That the structures of control and containment of the black community has always had a racial component and always had at the center of it violence, state violence. So the very fact that we have been controlled and contained since the very beginning of this nation could be defined as, in fact, a race war. This country was born, it was the first white republic in the history of humanity. The first nation ever constructed on the basis of racial superiority. What I'm referring to in terms of what we're really up against is more nefarious, because we're talking about a system. We're talking about structures of oppression. Donald Trump made the comment, everybody thought it was ridiculous. He said, look, if you're concerned about taking down statues, where do you draw the line? Is that Thomas Jefferson and those people next? And everybody said, oh, that's so funny. He was correct. How could you limit it with Robert E. Lee and not address Thomas Jefferson, who is a white supremacist pedophile? So if we are serious about eliminating these symbols of white supremacy, then we have to understand that we have to eliminate all of the symbols that we have accepted as being normal expressions of what this nation is supposed to be about.
Unapologetic, unadulterated, and uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the super fortress of intelligent black thought. This is the BlackChannel.net radio program, and I am, of course, your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. A lot of ground we need to cover here tonight, and I might even take telephone calls in the unlikely and hazardous event that I do. The telephone number is 646-787-1933. That is 646-787-1933. Your personal access code to the Blackest radio program in existence, the only one of its kind on planet Earth today. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And on tonight's program, I'm going to be covering some life lessons here. But before we do that, there is some necessary housekeeping that we have to do here first. So I do want to take this opportunity to go ahead and put a couple of things on the table. And we'll announce that as well. If you haven't done it yet, Why are you not subscribed to my YouTube channel? I don't know why. This isn't something I'm going to say every week, but while we have updates happening and while we have things occurring that are happening with our work here, you definitely may want to see about doing that. With our new upcoming project, Race War, which is underway, we are still actually in filming on it. Not really sure how much longer that's going to take. What I will tell you is that this is the most stacked roster. This is the deepest talent bench that we have had since, I don't even know if I can compare this to 7 a.m. In my opinion, this is the deepest bench we have ever had, period, end of discussion. We have the best and brightest. We have the most famous and the most infamous. We have the most righteous and we have the most iniquitous. We cover it all. For a work of this magnitude, and it has to live up to the statements I'm making. Now, I had released a video clip here. Last week I released one that was featuring Ajamu Baraka of the Green Party, 2016 vice presidential candidate from the Green Party, just to put people on notice that we're not fooling around when we tell you that we're going further and taking it deeper than anyone ever has before. If that didn't put you on notice, nothing else will. So you are free to exit the building now. If you're looking for something else, you're free to exit the building. Clearly it's flying over your head. Today, I released another clip right before I started broadcasting, just to let you know that, among other people, we spoke to my son, legendary New York rap figure, and once again, things that people do not ask them. Let me be very, very clear about this. Every single person who is in this documentary, every single one, gets asked the exact same question. Are we in a race war? Everyone gets asked the exact same question. Now, I dare you and I challenge you. When you see this roster roll out, I dare you and I defy you to find where anybody has ever asked these people that question before. I defy you to find that they're being asked in those terms. Are we in a race war? Are there elements in American society that see themselves as prosecuting a race war against black people? And as you saw there, the answers that we're getting are blunt, straightforward, provocative, and you've never heard these people like this before, because this subject has not been discussed in black society before. We talk about racism. We even elevated the discussion to describe it in terms of white supremacy. But even there, are we missing the mark? Are we slightly off base? Are we failing to characterize it as it really is? That this is a race war. Whether you consider it to be low-level or high-level conflict, can we deny that this is a race war now? That's the question that I pose to my interview subjects from across the country, from all walks of life, from every dimension. This is the question that I pose to them. Because no one's done this before. Nobody. So if you go to my YouTube channel, and for those of you who'll be watching this recorded, you'll be able to see this later yourselves. But you can check out the clip from the My Son interview, and there's so many more. There's so many more. You haven't seen the half yet. We're not through shocking you just yet. We're not done just yet. I'm just throwing a couple of those out there. I am expecting to have the full trailer, and I shouldn't say full trailer. I am expecting to have the trailer with the interview subjects that I have spoken to up to this point. And to be totally honest, I've spoken to so many, I don't know if I can actually fit them all in a trailer. Because you really want your trailers to be about 2 minutes long, maybe 2.5 minutes, that's stretching it. But I've got a talent pool so deep this time, and a bench so deep, I don't know if I can fit everybody into this trailer. I don't know if I can. We're going to try. But to be totally honest with you, I'm not done yet with everything that I want in it. And there's a lot in it. There are already a ton of I don't believe it moments in here already. Already a ton of shocking things. And I'm not done yet. So, right now I'm working on the trailer itself. I'm working on the official theatrical trailer for it. At this time, it is my intention to do our crowdfunding no later than February 10th, possibly starting next weekend, but absolutely no later than February 10th. No later than that. And I intend to have everything done, the trailer finished, and our crowdfunding ready to go, if not next weekend, no later than February 10th. So, mark it on your calendars here. I'm aiming for next weekend, if possible. The only thing is, there's something else I want in there, and there's a couple of other things I want that I don't have right this moment. And I'm not sure how soon I'll be able to get them. If I have to do the trailer without it, I can. If I have to without it, I can. But I'd prefer it to be there, if for no other reason than to make sure I feel like it's mostly comprehensive. So, aiming to start next weekend on our crowdfunding. I will keep you updated on that. Looking to start on it next weekend. If we're unable to, if I decide that we don't have what we need, it will be no later than the 10th, but next weekend, February 2nd or 3rd, I'm looking to get that started. So, absolutely, by all means, I want you to be there for it. I want you to watch what's happening. And I want you to witness it for yourselves. Because your children are going to ask you where you were. Some of your kids will. The rest of them will be off playing around and bull jiving and buck dancing. But this is going to be the most ambitious thing that we have ever done. This is it. This is everything. We're taking it to a level that nobody else has. So be watching for that, and it is my pleasure to bring this to you. I simply can't wait for you to see them all. When you see the people that we've spoken to, and when you hear the things that they say, addressing the preeminent issue of our time, because your schools aren't doing it, your politicians aren't doing it, your clergy aren't doing it, your media, white or black, isn't doing it, and in most of your cases, your parents aren't doing it. So it falls to us. And based on what you all have seen so far, I've released 3 clips so far. Getting ready to do the trailer. I don't think I'm going to do another clip, although I do have one in mind that's a bit of a passion project for me that I do want to release. But right now I'm cutting on the trailer is what I'm doing. So, be looking for that. Can't wait to drop it on you. And after that, we march. No more talking. No more preparation. Donald Trump has made his stand. The alt-right has made their case. Now it's time for us to make our stand. Now it's time for us to make our case. It is not enough to say that they are racist or white supremacists. We are engaged in a full-blown race war at this point. And your politicians, the courts, and now average citizens have deputized themselves